Hey, Mario fans, thank you for your patience this afternoon. We are on the job trying to make sure we get you a good experience today. One of those people that's hard at it is Notch. Notch, first time in the booth. How you feeling?
Uh, oh yeah, first time in the booth. I'm doing pretty good. Feeling quite excited about the levels today that between me and GFE we handpicked this level. So hopefully things are gonna go really well here.
We have our runners readying up. We should be off and at this soon. Round one, they are playing some customized levels that are submitted by makers like you, people who take their shot, putting a level out there for everybody to try, getting featured on here. From those selected levels, from those submitted levels, we have our level testers like Notch here, who goes through those and makes sure we're giving our runners a good experience for the afternoon. Then viewers like you vote on your favorite for the day, and they win a prize for making the fan favorite levels of the day. Round two, we will be playing select levels from round one, trying to optimize the speedrun route. It is put up the fastest time that you can, and then round three, they will be in Endless Expert. Hey Notch, why don't you take on this question that Chad asks? Are these levels around expert level?
Yes, they are around expert level. A couple of them might be super expert. So what I always try to do is usually try to introduce a little bit of difficulty, then I kind of ramp it up on the second level, then I kind of lower it down for the third. But we almost always end up with a very difficult level. That the fifth level is always going to be something difficult.
We've seen plenty of levels that will challenge you technically, even though they're not Kaizo like you might see in other events. It's not a lot of shell jumping kind of things, but you might have to be pretty precise on your platforming to get across, say, a two gap of saws. You might have to slow fall in your new soup tech. You might have to do a lot of wall jumping. There's plenty to challenge you.
Yeah, so yeah, we're definitely trying to avoid a lot of the really advanced tech. So shell jumps are not a common thing. We did get to see some shell jumps in SG Live, but what we tried to do over there for the live tournament that was like what 3 weeks ago, it was definitely make it a little bit more difficult. This was a live tournament; it was completely different. But this one for the weeklies, we always try to make it as accessible as possible without making them way too easy. You gotta add a little bit of challenge here and there.
Oh, yeah, we want you to work for it, and they certainly will. So, the way that the overall win works, they are scored per round. So we'll start to see how the scoring shakes out after they finish in order of round one. Round two, we'll have a pretty good idea how many levels they need to clear in round three, which is where they can score the most points because it's a point per level cleared. All right, they're going
Yes,
to get
exactly.
the countdown and off and running here. Got a nice little lineup here. For all of these runners, they have been at this before. Germ Dove, Chaos Legion have certainly run several of these. Dobbs established himself early as one of the favorites in one of these, and Zero Planes really broke out at SG Live, put up a great performance, and this is his second week, I believe, joining us for the weekly here on Speed Gaming. Looks like we've
All
got
right,
SMB1 to start with. Or, no, that's three.
SMT3 actually.
I should know that, and that's my favorite.
So yeah, funny thing about the levels this week is that we have quite a mix of threes. So we have two levels that are 3D levels that are 3D World and two levels that are SMB3.
So we've seen red coins already. Only two runners have gone for the red coin so far. A little
Would
bit
you
of a
go for those red coins
divergent
or
path.
would you ignore them?
Yeah, the safest assumption is always that red coins are required. And in particular, in phase one, you might want to invest the time to finding the red coins so that you know for phase two whether or not you need to optimize it. But knowing the event format that we have, it's also probably not the worst assumption to say that's probably designed to be a harder alternate route that's faster instead of a required route.
Exactly. So the fun thing about this level is that there are multiple paths everywhere, but they're not very well. I wouldn't say they're not well aligned, but the thing is, they're very misleading. So sometimes you think you're going backwards, sometimes you're not. So it's going to be a very interesting level for the first round, and especially once it gets optimized.
This is one where you can see we've already seen two different ways to get to this door where Zero Planes is at.
Yes. So yeah, most sections have two paths. It's just knowing which direction is the correct direction.
And we can kind of see what I was talking about earlier, where there is some precision challenge, but it's not super precision. So most of these jumps, you can see they gave you 2 or 3 blocks instead of just a 1 block gap. So it's not free, but it's not easy either.
Exactly.
Chaos Legion's going to be the first on stream to clear that. Zero Plane's going to be right behind.
Yes, and we have Jobs and Germdove in the same section. They both died on the same part. Interesting.
Well, you know, sometimes a challenge is a challenge. Trips up multiple people.
Yeah, and now on the right side we have Zero Planes and Koas, both of them going through. If I recall correctly, this is a Babaknade level. And it's a really interesting one. It's a set of rooms that are always the same layout, but what changes is the challenge, whether it's the enemies or some other object that is different in the level, but the layout is always the same one. So it's constantly repeating itself, adding a more difficult challenge each time they go back through.
That's very interesting. I remember a level like that for the first time Mario Maker was at a GDQ, and haven't seen it show up a lot since. It's a very interesting concept. So
Yes,
Zero
especially
Planes
with
has
this one, the
checkpoint.
routing has got to be interesting because depending on the challenge, the routing will change. So it's really quite a good challenge, especially this room with the bullies where Zero Planes is right now. They are constantly pushing you around.
They're pushing
you
in
have
some
no idea how
lava
many times-
bubbles there too, so you're gonna have to time those jumps carefully.
Yes.
Ooh, that's gonna be a tough room without a damage boost.
Fortunately enough, in 3D World, the hammers of the Hammer Brothers, they break once they hit a solid surface. So that was actually a really good room by Zero Planes, by the way. He's
Handled
about to
it
finish now.
well.
Yeah. Those Porky Poppers, you have no idea how difficult they're to deal with, especially in lava.
That lava can really get you. So we have everybody on the same level right now, except for Zero Planes, who just cleared it, of course.
Yeah, Zero is doing pretty well today.
He was doing some warm-up last night. I was able to stop by his stream for a little bit. He was actually really practicing for part 3, trying to get as many endless clears as he could in 20 minutes.
I mean, I don't blame him. Part 3 got him second place last week. So, if you can focus on getting, as many clears there, those are easy points.
Right, we have another SMB 3 level. Got a lot of spikes here, so this one's not very forgiving.
No, this one is a little bit harder than your norm. But it's not impossible. I tell you, it's not impossible. It's a super expert, definitely. But as you can tell, similar to the first SMB3 level that we had, there's a lot of room to land in some of these platforms. It's just that there are a lot of spikes here and there.
Yeah, when you've got the smaller gaps like just the moles, you can see that's where they gave you the full clearance from Mario's head. He can do a full bounce off there safely. It's not restricted when it's the narrowest gap, is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So
And
that's
you
a
can see,
subtlety that's really well done.
yeah, you can see Koa's like going. At least he made it to the checkpoint before dying, but he's doing pretty well. He's been handling this jump pretty freaking great. And the other good thing about this level, compared to how usual Kaizo levels are, is that there's a lot of room not only to land, but you can also wait between jumps. Usually when you play a Kaizo level, you don't have a lot of time to think your next move.
Looks like Germdove and Dobbs finished up the Lava Castle level right about the same time.
Perfect.
Chaos Legion on a good run here.
Head-to-head. They've been head-to-head, Dobson and Germdove here.
Just missed the timing off that shell bounce. That's the last trick of the level, it looks like. It's a very good run through here. Looks like both he and Zero Plane's getting right to the end of the level.
Yeah, almost there.
I really love seeing that even though those are precision jumps, they look to be full jumps, which is a whole lot easier.
Definitely. I really struggle whenever I get, those half presses jumps. Oh, they're so difficult to deal with. But no,
Here we
most jumps
go.
in this
Last
level.
jump. That's
yeah.
it. Chaos Legion got it.
Yeah.
Zero Plane's gonna get it. He's right here.
Right there. Just a few more jumps.
Last trick. Got it.
Go. GG to both of these runners today. They've been on their best game right now.
And Dobbs has got the checkpoint. Germdove was just a little bit short when the Wiggler bounce didn't cooperate. And we're back into 3D World.
Oh yeah. And this one is definitely the most difficult level of the night. It's a speed run. Lots of spikes and a lot of very complicated jumps.
30 seconds, which tells you it's not that long a level.
It isn't. It's very lenient though. I'll tell you, like, the normal routing will take you around 29 seconds. It sounds like it's not too much, but on the speedrun level, that's a lot of time.
That's also something that's nice about vertical levels I've been seeing pop up is they make the level where you have that falling section to preview it before you actually have to try and climb it. So it's not completely blind.
This one is definitely it's a very input heavy level, especially because you have to constantly, charge up those high jumps with the L button. But once you get the hang of it, because that's the jump you're going to be doing the most in the level, you're more than okay.
Sometimes you see levels that don't really make a difference for which scheme they're in, but this one is very much a 3D World level. It's using everything 3D World has to offer.
Yes.
With the type of jumpings that are unique to this style.
And yeah, Antago Princess, we featured her before on the weeklies, and she's always coming up with a new different challenge with all these levels. Always. It's really exciting to see when she works on a different theme, because most of the time she's working on an NSMB, and this one being 3D World, it's completely different.
Dobbs working from the checkpoint towards the end, hasn't gotten to that final sequence yet. Germdove still working from the start of the level, trying to get to first checkpoint. Alright, here's the final sequence for Dobbs. I think this is as far as he's gotten so far, so he's taking a moment to eye it up. Nothing wrong with that. But he's not going to get it.
Oh,
he didn't get the shell launched.
He waited too long, and that shell woke up. Oh, that's unfortunate.
He never got it kicked. He got the bounce off of it. He didn't hit it the second time to get it in motion.
Well, you can do it in one single motion without it. If you don't wait for the Koopa to wake up, you can definitely get it in one motion.
Just like
and
that.
That's the fast way.
This should do it.
Mm-hmm.
He's got it. Second time is the charm.
If it's my case, it's like the 10th time. I usually fail these challenges so much when I'm testing them, but these are amazing levels, all of them. Honestly, all of the makers this week have been giving us. Most of them are we've featured them before, but it's just wonderful, honestly.
We got the clear for Chaos Legion.
Yeah, and he's on to the last one.
Koopa Troopa Canyon. So this is likely a power-up down here. It is a mushroom. Looks like a lot of multi-paths going on here.
It is it's a very misleading level, but the reality is that the path is kind of hidden. Right now, we're seeing cars going all the way back instead of going through the real path. So at least that might help Zero Planes if they ever get at the same time here to try and nab that first clear from Koas. On the other end, Germdove and Dot both figuring out how to deal with this Taco Princess level. Interesting take, especially on Germdove, which kind of turn off the red switches and and is trying to get those red coins without a lot of time left on the clock.
Yep. It's tough on a speedrun because you're never sure how lenient the timer is until you see the goal.
So true.
When it's only 30 seconds, you know the level's just not that long. And it may even be something where if you're that concerned, you could just run through the level not trying to get the coins and then see if they're actually required.
Yeah, that's usually what I do. I always try to survey as much as I can before, committing to anything in particular.
Now we do know in this case they are required.
And Koa's on the bottom right screen, making a lot of good progress here in this last level.
As long as you're able to keep a good mental map in your head, I don't think this one will be bad at all. But looks like it's a little chaotic to explore it the first time.
It is very chaotic. Yes, it is. I agree.
Okay, Zero Planes was in the final section, but jumped too soon and hit the spikes.
Oh, that's unfortunate. They'll get there again. And Koa's about to, getting that first clear. As far as I can tell, he's our first clear overall.
Zero Planes through to that section again. We get the channel back open here. And yeah, Chaos Legion gonna be the first one done.
GG to Koas.
Zero Planes has gotten close, but he's not there yet, so Germdove still has a chance to snipe him for this.
Yeah, Germdove is making a lot of good progress here overall, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually try and nab that clear. Oh no,
A little too quick on that jump.
A long jump there. Yeah, long jumps, please.
Dobbs got to the final room, but again, another win for the spikes.
I tell you, spikes in 3D World are something else. They have the strangest hitboxes. Like sometimes they don't hit you. Sometimes they're like, especially vertically, they're very finicky in 3D World.
Yeah, that's a very common theme. Coming over from Mario Maker, you really feel a difference in the hitboxes of the spikes.
There you go. Germdub's almost there. Last few jumps.
Out of room. Got
There
it.
you go. GG.
Germdove with the come behind there.
And Dub's not too far behind. He can nail these jumps. Oh, he missed the red coin. That's unfortunate. Not enough time.
It's Germdove onto the Koopa Canyon level. Now, one thing I wonder is if you're in Chaos Legion's position, how much do you walk away, take a break? How much do you sit here, see how everybody else is handling the levels? See if somebody finds something you didn't?
Honestly, I whenever I was racing this, I would just take a break, grab some water, walk around, stretch my fingers, because the next section is gonna be a lot of grinding. It's not gonna be easy.
Zero Plane's last room, got it.
GG
So
Zero.
He'll not be far behind Dobbs, who did snipe him for the clear on that level. Both
Yeah,
of
it's
them
interesting.
in to the final one.
Yeah. Interesting how Zero Planes got to this level first, and then it kind of was a little bit too much for him, apparently. So I'm sorry, Zero.
You know, not every trick lines up with your skill set, and sometimes it just takes you longer to get the feel of what the level maker is going for.
Yeah, and I think this is the third week we feature again a level like this one, like like the one that they just cleared, and it's definitely one of the most lenient ones that we feature. Honestly, like seriously, that clock is not that tight.
Germdove is onto our new soup level. Has found his way to the subworld.
And about to hit the checkpoint.
It's always a welcome sight. Unless it's a troll level, you figure you're in the right place.
Oh no, don't get me started on those troll levels. Jeez.
I think Dobbs was trying to bring a shell up with him in this section, but it didn't cooperate. So he moved on without it, and now he's about to get to the checkpoint.
It looks like Zero has found the path forward. They just fell down that pit, unfortunately.
Great. He's going to get to the subworld. I think this is the first time he's gotten this far. And a clear for Germdove.
GG. And that's our second place clear so far.
Checkpoint for Zero Planes.
Germdove here with a comment. What a maze. I'm guessing that's the last level.
Yeah, it is quite the maze. The level maker didn't give you a lot of indications of which direction you had to go in, but you didn't get walled off for going the wrong direction.
It's like playing Breath of the Wild without the mini map on the corner.
Zero Planes running atop those semi-solids. When in doubt, going the high ground is usually a good idea, but unfortunately, he went too high and got back on top of the bridge, so he's got to redo this section again. And the Koopa timing off, so he has to wait on them to turn around lest he jump face first into a Koopa. We don't need Koopa hugs.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Just like that.
That was
That's exactly what he was trying to avoid. A perfectly timed demonstration of what he was trying not to do.
Exactly.
Dob shows one of the strats you can use to get around that by throwing the shell into him, and he's got the clear.
Is Zero Planes trying to find a different path around here? Yeah, they were trying to go for that. Or maybe he's just trying to devise some strats for the next section.
We got 4 runners complete so far. Zero Plane's still working on this. I think he's going to be a little disappointed in this result.
Trying to find some cheese, Kina. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Well,
I tried my
there's an
best to find
advantage to
some
that
cheese in this level.
if you're already unhappy with your result in this round, figuring out how you're going to handle this level in the next round, assuming it is one in the next round, there's an advantage to that because if you can get your time up faster, you've got more time to invest in the other levels.
Definitely, and that's a really good way of, looking at things in this case.
Zero Planes has it clear. And I think that's everyone for round 1. Or do we have somebody off stream still?
I think we still have Bruzzy, who's not on the restream.
You're right, Bruzzy. Still working on this. Might see if we can get him in here. So, meanwhile, Natch, why don't you talk about what we're facing for round 2?
So for round 2, we've selected 3 of the levels that were played. They're gonna get optimized as much as possible. I think it's 15 minutes per level, right?
I'm trying to do the setup over here.
No worries. I think it is 15 minutes per level. They have to get their best time possible. So each of our runners is going to go through the same levels in the same order. So, I don't know if we can say yet which of the levels are being speed ran, but I do know them because I did pick the levels myself.
Yeah, we just don't say it until after everyone's completed.
We'll have to wait.
First phase.
We'll have to wait a little bit. All right, Brazzy is still on the. They're a little bit far behind. They're on the 3rd level, if I recall correctly, which was definitely one of the most challenging ones this week. Yeah, so currently we have Brazzy's on Exclusion Zone by Dremy. And it's definitely taking them quite a while.
It's a tricky one. I can see where it would hold you up. That Wiggler jump section is definitely one of the more challenging ones.
Yes.
Chad would like to know who is talking when. So I am Trenton, and I am joined by Notch.
Hey, I am Natch here. I am definitely the one with the strong accent.
Well, it's better than Wilson's accent. I fired him after SG Live.
Oh, Wilson was not helping at all, dude. Too quiet.
Okay, we're gonna take a 2-minute break before we move on to round 2. And so our runners will get the announcement of which levels are in round 2 in just over a minute from now. So running through this, we had Chaos Legion finishing first in Phase 1, followed by Owlglass. Germ Dove was third. Well, I have Germ Dove third and fourth. That doesn't quite work out. Better double check these results. Chaos Legion, Owlglass, Germ Dove, Dobbs, 0 planes. I think we're good now. We have a spreadsheet that keeps the scoring for us. Just have to make sure all the data gets in there correctly. I think we're good now. Question in chat, is this free to join? It absolutely is. This is completely open for anyone who wants to take part.
Yeah, whether you're a runner or a maker, it's very easy. All you gotta do is join the Discord channel and you'll be, every Saturday at around 1:30 p.m. we'll be, making the calls for all the runners that want to participate, and it's pretty easy. And during the whole week we're taking in levels. So I think the last level I tested was last night. And I mean it's a really straightforward process, at least for making levels.
All right, Phase 2, they're going to have 15 minutes per level, and they just had the first level announced. Do you want to mention what that is?
Yeah, so we're going for Passive Luna, which was the first level that they played earlier. It's the one with the multiple, with the 2 path in each section. So it's going to be interesting to see if they ever find the correct combination of path.
All right, they're all about to get the countdown. And of course, all of our runners did complete this level just a little while ago. Now they're trying to find the fastest path through there. And with 15 minutes to optimize it, you'll often see some exploration at the beginning. They see if there's another path that they didn't locate before, or some type of damage boost strat that maybe they didn't see the first time. They'll work on that to see if anything helps them pick up the time. And then usually the later half of the timer, they'll go for putting up their best time.
Exactly. So you have to dissect each section of the level in the best possible way until, eventually everything kind of lands together, like it pieces all together, and it's like the best possible combination of path and routes, to get the best time possible. At least they know that the red coins are optional, so they don't have to go back through those.
Yeah, that is a big piece of information, and it's always a challenge when you don't know that the first time. But once you know it the second time, it can really pick up your pace.
Exactly, and for example, here Germ Dove picked up that spring and brought it all the way here, just to save a little bit of time, because climbing those vines are time consuming. It's easier if you can just, big boost yourself with the spring.
I see some on-off blocks in here. When we were playing this earlier, I never actually saw where a switch was.
It's actually used as indicators for jumps in this case. So you see when you're falling off those blue platforms and the next jump is a little bit tight, that's usually like around where you should be, do your next jump.
That is an interesting way to mark it. There's not one correct way to ever mark anything, but there's things that just tend to be adapted. The
Definitely.
more the community goes, obviously that lines up well. But like you've got the tracks for indicating the curve of the jump. That's a level maker explaining something to a runner.
Yeah, it has developed in some sort of language, but unfortunately, like every language, there's some differences here and there. Some people prefer this way, some other people don't like it. Some people like to, for example, to put an indicator for the thwomps that have a parachute on, while others, they just don't want to do that. So, I mean, it's still a work in progress.
So you're saying it's kind of like having an accent?
Yes, definitely.
Everybody's is a little bit different. Alright, Hourglass got it clear there.
Some people say potato, I say potato. It's just like that.
Of course, your first time through, you absolutely want that checkpoint. As you're trying to speedrun the level, it's going to be one of the first things you sacrifice because it's out of the way. It takes extra frames to get there.
Exactly, and not just it's out of the way. The thing is, even if you die, going back through the checkpoint, that time gets added. When you hit the checkpoint, there's like a marker there. If you die, the time is still going to keep on running from the checkpoint. So it doesn't matter. What you want to do always when you're speedrunning a level is restart, no matter what. Ooh, Koa's finding some interesting strats with that spring there. Huh.
Anytime there's a tool in a level that you can bring to a different section of the level, it has the potential to do something for you. Now, what that something is varies.
Sometimes it will help, sometimes it won't help at all.
But it feels like everybody's doing that ending the same way where they're coming out of the right pipe. I don't know if we've actually seen how you get to the left pipe instead at the end.
I haven't seen anything either, and I don't think I ever did that when I was testing the level.
Well, that's presuming that it even is an exit. Well, I say that. What? Chaos, what are you doing?
What? They're going back.
That's either exploration or he just didn't look closely enough to realize what he did at the time. Because just as I said that, he found the left pipe, walked through the one ways, and then went down the other exit pipe.
Well, interesting development here on Chaos stream. Right now we do have some clear times, and so far, our fastest runner is Hourglass.
So they can submit as many times. They just have to update in Discord when they get a PB time, and then that's what we see what we're working with. Hourglass just set a world record. So obviously, that's the best in the clubhouse at the moment. Well, in the clubhouse wouldn't be accurate. He's not done. Best on the course, then.
Yeah, Chaos Legion's it's also, one of probably our best optimizers here. It always seems like they're not there, but at the last 5 minutes of the level, they nail the best time possible most of the time. So it'll be interesting to see how, they develop any new strats in this particular level.
Also, sometimes you find a little bit of meta in looking at those world record times. If you see somebody is 5 seconds ahead of you, either you're not getting an execution as good as you should, or there is a completely different section or path or way of doing it than what you've found so far. and that can really play into how you do it. Of course, the other thing is they're allowed to watch these streams. You don't hear the runners doing a lot of that because they're kind of focused in on how they're playing their own game, and they need to.
Yeah.
But they're allowed
Definitely.
to seed, and they might see where somebody has found a better path than they have.
Exactly. That could, that could be beneficial or it could be detrimental, depending on, how you play.
So that first path with the one ways going down, does that just lead to the mushroom, or do we know if there's
It
anything
just
else over
leads to
there?
a mushroom. So you're wasting time to get a damage boost, a potential damage boost. The thing is, the layout of the level really doesn't help you a lot with that. So basically, the mushroom is a trap.
Well, they're not caught in it, so we don't have to break out the Elvis.
Sierra Plane has found the fastest path so far on the second section. If you, in that section between the two forms, if you jump to the left instead of going to the right, that's definitely the fastest path possible in that section.
Also doing well on these jumps, he was able to skip one, which is another little time save.
And that's a really good clear by Zero Planes. Let's see if they are close to the world record or anything. Ooh,
Still a good bit off.
Not, yeah, still 3
It's-
seconds away from Hourglass.
That's a real good time Outglass has put up. So far, nobody is under a second away. 1-4 is behind is the closest anyone has gotten. That's Chaos Legion.
Yes.
And another clear coming in for Germ Dove.
So most of the time saved you're going to find it on this level once you get to optimize the route. It'll be on how long you hold that A button, that jump button. Because if you do a lot of really high jumps, you're spending more time in the air. But if you do time your jumps properly and the press especially, you're definitely gonna save a lot of time.
Real quick, I'm going to bring in Dobbs onto the stream so that we see him for a bit in this round. So it'll be a moment while that updates. And another clear coming in for Hourglass.
Oh, that's a new record again. Yeah, 35.571 so far. And Ko, well, we'll see because Ko is like really close, and judging by that timer, that's looking pretty freaking good.
So we've got just over 5 minutes left in this round, and there's no more exploring at this point. This is every run's got to be perfect or you're starting over.
All right, Ko's just finished. Let's see. Ooh, 35,667. That's not too far from Hourglass.
Even if you don't set a world record, getting real close, finishing second or third is definitely an advantage because the scoring is overall. So the better your performance in each round, the more that's going to benefit you in the long run.
Exactly, and Koa's winning the first section, and getting second on this is just the first level of the second round. There's still a lot more of Mario Maker here. There's a lot of points that you can take in future levels. So
also worth noting, they're not getting a score for this level. This level makes up 1/3 of their score for this round. It's going to be their average across the 3 levels that determines what they get. Looks like a real smooth run for Dobbs here so far. And a world record for
new
Chaos
record.
Legion.
Wow. Holy moly.
So he's
This
taken over
is
the top slot
something
now all of a
else.
sudden.
Yeah. Told you, like, always in the last 5 minutes, Koas, from some way or another, just summons everything that he has and just, boom, always nails those best times. It's amazing watching him play.
Hourglass with that start over. So if you figured 40-45 seconds per attempt, they've got enough time to get a few full runs in of this level. But if you're really going for a tight optimized level, there's about 15 seconds where you're resetting probably. So
Oh, Dobbs with the new record now. Oh, this is getting tight.
this is getting real
Honestly,
competitive. So yeah,
yeah,
you're gonna
stealing
see
times
them
from one another.
quick to start over if they don't have a perfect run at this point. Nice through that section for Hourglass, but he missed the jump to the door.
Ah, that's unfortunate. That's gonna cost him a lot of time there. Oh,
Yeah,
would
I
you
think that's
look at
sub 1
that?
second.
Another
Yep, there goes the world record
Koas
again.
world record. Oh, this is something else. I am watching this with so much anticipation. Whenever a runner gets past the second checkpoint, and I see the clock, the in-game clock, pointing that they still, they're on course for a world record. It's so exciting.
So, worth noting at this point, they can complete a run that they start within the timer in this phase.
Yes.
So, they've got, maybe 2 chances for a full run at this point. If it's not a full run, maybe 4. 5 would be stretching it just because of load times. But even as I say that, enough time is ticking away that starting 3 runs would be a challenge at this point, I think.
Definitely. Oh my god, this is.
I figure basically just getting into it is probably going to cost you 20 seconds to get to the point where you'd be starting over. So probably 1 run after the current one they're on.
And that's about it, yes. I don't think they'll get any more chances.
Dobbs missed the jump into that pipe, so once you're at this stage and you've seen that world record trade a few times, you know it's probably tight enough that any little failure has cost you.
Ooh, that's a good door entrance for Dobbs.
12 seconds, so this is probably last try for anybody. Zero got that in just in time. Chaos Legion's not going to have enough time. Alright, so we're starting to see the finals come in. And we'll update that once we get them in the spreadsheet here. Just make sure I've got the PB for Zero Planes here, and I think that's right. No, I copied somebody wrong.
Alrighty, so we're taking another 2-minute break before we leave. We start the next level, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it'll be a 2-minute time.
Yeah, so in the meantime, we're definitely calculating all these times, inputting them into the board. And once we're done with all these levels, we'll get the overall best player in this section.
So I didn't notice this, but did we have a tie for the world record?
Yes, we do. Apparently, between Koa's Legion and who was it? Hourglass,
Hourglass.
apparently.
Yeah, I didn't realize that when they did it because it didn't pop up world record, and for my screen the font's pretty small, so I don't always notice the subtleties of that, but as we look back on it, that's how it's
Yeah.
shaking out.
Yeah, look at on Hourglass, it's 34,567 tied with Koa's on the 34,567. Wow, isn't that something else? Yikes!
Dobbs, meanwhile, was the next best. He was only a tenth of a second behind, not even a full tenth. About 700ths. Now that's
Yeah.
remarkable. 3 runners separated by 700ths of a second on the same level.
This is amazing. I don't think we've had a tie on this section ever before, right? I don't think we have that. We've definitely
I don't
had
think
like
we've had
really
it for
close.
first place. I'm almost positive we've had ties there before, but I can't think of a time it would have been for first place.
Holy moly!
All right, so as they stand, Chaos Legion with the Part 1 first place finish and tied for the lead in Part 2 is our overall leader. No surprise, Hourglass, second in Part 1, is and tied so far in Part 2, is second overall. Kind of an as they stand update. You want to talk about the next level they're playing?
Yeah. So this is a Bob McName level. There can be more levels. It's the one with the room that is constantly being repeated over and over, but with a new challenge. It's going to be really interesting how they find the routes around, because it's like a very open labyrinth at the end of the day. So it's up to each player to figure out what's the best situation. So in each room, they have to grab the key and find a way into the block or door. Because the thing is, the Mario Maker limits you to have up to 4 of those key blocks and 4 doors in total in any level. So what Bob McName did here was, mix them up. 1 door, 1 block, 1 door, 1 block, and constantly going back and forth like that.
I feel like the damage boost is going to be a really important part of this level. You've got to have it happen in the right places.
Definitely. The only problem is those bullies, they don't care about damage boosting. They will bully the heck out of you and not let you go through.
And some of this could just come down to RNG, how the Fireball or Hammer Bro jumps.
Yeah,
they get out of your way. Really, in this phase, feel like it's important to put up a solid time first before you really go for the speedrun strats, so you may wait on the bros the first time. Because you
Yes,
never
exactly.
want perfect to be the enemy of good. Like Chaos Legion with those red coins there, you know that's not going to be the time you stand on. But you get a finish on the board now.
Yeah, which is, at least in my case, I've had in one of the previous races that I remember that one of the levels that I played, by the time that we were like on the 10-minute mark, I had no clears because I was constantly restarting because I was not happy with my performance so far, you know? So it's really important to get that first clear done as soon as possible. Ooh, Dobson was a really good boost out of that Goomba.
Lava Bath doesn't work out too good. Chaos Legion will go back to the start.
Owlglass definitely having some problems with those bullies over here. And whoop, down into the lava.
Chat saying there's so many ways the enemies can mess with you too. That is absolutely the case. And the more you optimize how you run through this level, the more how the enemies move is going to matter.
Yes. So the good thing about most of the enemies, with the exception of the Hammer Brothers, is that all of them are not RNG. Bullies scan your position, Goombas scan your position, even the Porcupuffer at the end, and the Charvark, both of them are position dependent.
Dobbs with a 40-second world record takes almost 5 seconds off the previous world record that was on this level.
And that was, if I recall correctly, a GFE world record, which is one of our testers.
Now, this world records will give you an indication of how fast the level is, but it's not until people start doing this phase 2 that you've probably seen somebody really trying to get the world record. For Chaos Legion, that was a time that was comparable to the previous world record. It's just Dobbs put up such a great number.
Yeah, Dubs had like the perfect run so far.
So we'll see if anybody else puts up a 40 or a 41 to really threaten that time.
And we have a comment from the creator himself, Buppen, saying that this level was probably one of the longest he's ever done, because it was very difficult to get a layout that works, 7 times over and over, and it feels still interesting. So it's very similar to one of those Pac-Man mazes.
That's a pretty good comparison. Right, we got a completion for Zero Planes. What does he put up here? He puts up a 42, so that would have bested the world record before we started, and I think that's our second best time so far.
Yep.
Also, chat, don't forget to vote for your favorite level. You've seen all 5 of them. They don't have to be in this round for you to vote for them. Vote for your choice. So we've got Dobbs in the lead so far. Zero Planes and Chaos Legion both putting up incredibly good times. This is one that could easily come down to 0.5 of a second or less. I mean, we've already seen a tie. How close can we get it between these runners? I won't be threatening for world record, but I always try and do these levels sometime during the week just to see how I could do against them. I'm excited to try this one.
You'll have a lot of fun with it. It's really interesting to, try to figure out the best path possible. And especially learning the intricacies of each enemy helps so much in understanding how this level works.
Gonna make a quick change here just because we're trying to show off everybody as they're competing. So we'll get Germ Dove back in. And then when we go into round 4, we'll put on the top 4 runners, whatever the standings may be. That long jump into the Fire Flower just looks good. Daps missed the Fire Flower though, so he's just gonna go for it, because there's no sense going back for it.
And to be fair, having a smaller hitbox, even, even though it's very scary trying to deal with all these enemies, especially that you have to go through that Hammer Bro and Fire Bro room.
Yeah,
Having a
it's so
smaller
nice to
hitbox
have
will
damage
definitely,
boost there.
yeah. But having a smaller hitbox will definitely help you navigate these mazes faster, because there's room to hit your head against something.
I feel like that's the one room you really want the power up for. Otherwise, you probably would be faster to be Small Mario.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to go through that boulder room with a big hitbox, and having a big hitbox in the boulder room, it's not gonna be easy. So it's a compromise. You want to go, but risking a lot in that boulder room, or you want to, have it easy there, but then having a hard time in the Hammer Brother room. It's up to you to decide which one is the best compromise. Because the thing with the Hammer Brother room is that if everything goes right, if the RNG is being good to you, then you really won't need that damage boost at all. But the problem is because it's all RNG dependent, unfortunately.
Yeah. But you also have the lava bubbles after the bullies, so if you have the damage boost, you've got it through the lava bubbles, you never have to wait for them, and you've got it through the bros room, and you can just charge through it.
Very true. Well, we got Germs off here with a clear. Let's see what the time is. That's 10 seconds slower than the current world record. Still a big improvement from the previous time, which was a little bit over 2 minutes. So not bad at all.
That sounds like the 2 minutes was really an exploration run. We didn't get to see it, but clearly
Yeah.
he was trying from the checkpoint a few times to see what he could come up with. And now he's starting to fine-tune it as we get into the final minutes of this phase.
Yeah, we're just entering the last 5 minutes in a bit. So it's going to be interesting how each of these runners are going to start up, making all these sacrifices to get that best possible time. They already know the level from start to finish. They know what's happening in each of the rooms. It's just finding the best possible route.
Alright, so 5 minutes, you're definitely getting your perfect run or starting over now. So I think we'll see everybody pretty committed to the strats they're doing right now. So we're planes through the bullies. And the lava bath doesn't work out too well.
And he had the damage boost. He could have just kept going through the top of the room, get hit by one of the Hammer Brothers, and that's it. But something didn't go right, apparently.
That could have been just the case of he did a spin jump, so it may have been he had a finger on the shoulder button that just unintentionally went down, and it threw off his jump.
Yeah, itchy trigger fingers,
A big part of optimizing this level is building up your muscle memory of doing things even where you're not thinking about them.
Yep. We just saw Zero Planes getting bullied by the bullies. And another lava bath in the Hammer Brother room.
Chaos Legion putting up a 40, which is a very reasonable time. It's a couple seconds off. But you know, if you put up a sub 45 on this, you've had a good run. Just not necessarily contending for the world record run. Already kind of in similar stages here.
Interestingly enough, all the runners are going for the Fire Flower, with the exception of Dobbs, and I guess that's what made their time their current world record. They are not going for the damage boosts.
Dobbs may have done that with the flower, and now he's seeing what he can do without it.
Oh, I don't remember honestly. You know, with 4 screens, I don't remember when they got that world record. But you might be right.
I feel like he was getting it earlier. But yeah, if you could consistently get through these 2 rooms without taking damage, you definitely would be faster without the power-up, but you're either trying for RNG or need some really good consistency without it.
Germdov just came up with a really good strat there for dealing with the big bully. By shooting a couple of fireballs, he stalls the bully, and the bully won't be able to actually bump them around. Huh. It's a really good strat.
Let's see how it pays off. Another finish coming in. Got a low battery on his controller. I hope that doesn't become an issue. 41-3. Brought his...
That's definitely a better time, a better clear than the previous one, but just not by a lot.
No, but it's consistently ticking in the right direction. I actually think it's 3rd right now.
Yep, I think it is 3rd.
I think between Dobbs and Chaos Legion for 1-2 and Germ 3.
And this is probably going to be the last run for most of our players. Dobbs might have an extra chance here. But everyone else are pretty much set on their runs.
You can get into it again. Again, it takes something like 15 seconds to get in. So you could sneak another start in, but you're not going to have a start and a deep run at this point. Germdov's going to put up another finish here. Now he's going to start over.
Oh my.
So
they're going for the last 15 seconds.
That's very critical, because if you'd taken the flagpole animation, you wouldn't have had enough time. So he did that just right to give himself another chance.
Zero Planes definitely not getting one more time there. Nope. Not happening. Oh, that's unfortunate.
We've got the finals coming in now.
And Germ is on their last round. Oh no, that's not good. Nope. That's it. Well, we definitely got Dobbs with the best clear so far.
Looks like Owlglass not happy with the Fire Bros in his post-round comments. So let's see what we have. Dobbs gave us our best time in that round with a 38.9. That was followed
Undisputed
by
best time.
Chaos Legion with a 40.5. Germ Dove was a 41.3. Zero Planes a 42.7. And Owlglass with a 46.0. Of course, that goes to the thousands, but if the tenths tell you the story, I'm content to stop there.
All right, so as we take another 2-minute break, we have our last level of the optimization round. And it's going to be interesting. It's a level that doesn't throw a lot of challenges at the player, but it's still going to be a really interesting one to see getting the best possible time.
Yeah, and that still gives Chaos Legion the best overall performance so far. First in round 1, and then 1 and 2 in rankings on these levels. You want to talk any further about this next level?
Oh yes, the next level is the one that the runners were complaining it was very mazy. So again, like I did mention earlier, there are not a lot of challenges, just Koopa Troopas everywhere. So as long as you can deal with their movement, their back and forth pacing, you'll be fine. It's just trying to find the fastest way possible, because there's going to be a lot of wall jumping here and there and a lot of really tight small jumps. It's not that they will kill you if you fail to get those jumps, it's just that you're going to waste a lot of time if you don't get it right. So it's going to be a really interesting, it's more an athletic kind of level. And by athletic I mean just the traditional Mario style of level.
I feel like maybe 1 or 2 runs here are just going to be making sure you have the right path through the level, that you're not wasting some time going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, basically the first 5 minutes are just going to get that, and then it's full on optimization mode. So they already know that damage boosting won't be a big thing in this level. It's all just getting those jumps correctly, because it's a lot of jumping constantly.
So there's a small gap up there that it looks like Germ Dove wants to explore, and he's trying to do a shell jump. So there's a big difference between a required shell jump and a shell jump that helps you. He's got it, but there's nothing up there.
Unfortunately, it doesn't
It was a
help at all.
bold play.
It
props for
was
going
a
for
really
it.
bold play. That gives you an idea for a future level.
Level makers, feel free to pay attention. I mean, I don't think there would be anything against using levels that have shell jumps, but the difference would be ones that have required shell jumps. That's a great point in chat. We saw a low battery warning earlier for Dobbs, and hopefully that's not going to be an issue.
That is stressing me out so much right now.
Well, because again, you're talking about almost 30 minutes still to go here. I don't quite know how much time you have left on a normal low battery warning, because I've never had one before.
It all depends on which controller they're using. If it's one of the Nintendo branded ones, that low battery could go for hours.
Well, it's obviously a wireless controller if he's getting that. If you're using a wired one, wouldn't be an issue. Germ Dove has got a completion here. What are
Now,
we
if it's if it's
Germ
like,
Dove had that.
oh yeah,
A 137's not very tight to the world record of 49 seconds.
but yeah, like we said, this is just basically trying to get comfortable with the level, trying to figure out a few things. Remember that Germ Dove tried to get that wall jump.
Oh yeah,
So
the
they
shell
wasted
jump.
a little bit of the shell jump. Sorry, they wasted a little bit of time trying to get that going.
Here comes a completion for Chaos. And that's going to be a 52-7.
That's not too bad. Only 3 seconds away on your first clear. There's a lot, you can optimize. So going forward, so it's a really good first clear.
So it's probably worth mentioning one of the mechanics about Mario that not everybody realizes is he's not any slower in the air. So when you're jumping and going forward, that's not any slower than it is if you were running on the ground.
Yeah, and exactly, and in modes like 3D World, you get full running speed once you're in the air. So you don't, you know that like in 3D World, you go through 2 boost sections, like motions.
Yeah.
Those are not present in the air, so you can just go as fast as you can as long as you're constantly jumping.
Germdove is real quick put up another finish. What do we got?
That's a 105.
105.
Still a little bit far down. But we got also Dobbs with a clear. Let's see what they got.
A 53. Very solid.
Yeah.
That's a checkpoint that wouldn't slow you down any to get it just because you could run through it. But of course, we don't need the checkpoint. The only thing it might do for you is if it gave a power-up, there would be an advantage to a damage boost that doesn't cost you any time.
Yes. But as we discussed already, damage boosting in this level, it's with the exception of maybe a couple of jumps, won't really do much.
Yeah.
Like right there, where Zero Planes was just trying to go around that Koopa, I guess that would have helped.
So this being a new Super Mario Brothers level, aside from the wall jumps, the biggest difference being with the twirls, you can slow your fall down. There's a couple places in this level where that could help you. I don't know that we've really seen a place where a triple jump could do a lot for you.
No, triple jumps are doing nothing here. Absolutely nothing.
There's maybe that one in the subworld where you could skip a Koopa by getting the extra height of the triple jump.
And that's right before the last section. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but no power up from that checkpoint. Yeah, this one jump here that Germdove did before the pipe is really where you're seeing the difference of, say, New Soup versus Super Mario World. Because in Super Mario World, you couldn't do the mid-air twirl. Yeah, that jump right there for Germdove is the one I think you could triple jump and be a little bit faster.
Yeah, I think I've seen Dobbs doing that there, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
It's nice when there's subtle differences in the mechanics. As Germdove gets another clear put in here, that's going to be
That's
a
an
56.
improvement. Little by little, he's chipping away at the timer. Started like what, 130 something, and then 106, and now it's 56. So it's definitely an improvement.
We've got Chaos Legion and Dobbs have both put up low 50s so far. Everybody else still working on that. Zero Planes brought an extra shell with him to sort of do a damage boost through there. It ricochets off the Koopa, kills them both, and then he's through there without having to wait for the Koopa to move.
And that's a clear.
That'll be
Not
a
too
56.
bad. Not too bad.
No, that's our third best time so far. Just ahead of what Germdove has. Chaos Legion not getting that jump up to the platform. That's one that, boy, as a runner, it just has to feel so slow to do that turn back, because you can't do it in a fluid motion.
And it looks like Owlglass has probably the best time overall.
Yeah,
With
just
a
turning that in.
51-second clear.
So we do have Hourglass off screen. I'm not going to switch him over because I believe we're going to have him in the final four.
That's completely fair.
pretty good
We can
position.
track. Yeah, we'll keep on tracking their times. So it's all
right. Well, I changed my mind. It's quicker to switch people in this game than it is for others because Mario is a full screen game. So we'll bring him in where Zero Planes was, and then for the final round, we'll just put up the top four, whoever they may be. And another finish for Germdov.
Yes.
He's got a lot of complete runs on this one, which is interesting, this being the longest of the 3 levels.
It's also the easiest one, so it's understandable. Ooh, on Germdov's left Joy-Con, it's not looking too hot. Oh my. It's the low battery race here.
Okay, so, well, let's metagame this strategy. Do you take the final 5 minutes here and just say, I'm going to stand on the time I've got and charge up my controller so I don't run out on the last section?
But do you know
it's
that
a consideration because that's where you got the most ground.
Do you know that your rivals are also running out of battery? You don't know that.
I think you kind of have to assume on that one.
So we have 2 races going on at the same time. Which controller is gonna die first, Dops or Germs? Or who's going to grab the best possible time here?
So again, part 3 is where the most ground is to make up, so that's where you don't want to be cut short. I'd rather give up 3 minutes on this round and then have a 2-minute break and be 5 minutes of charge time to hopefully get me through.
Yeah, totally agree. And just like we saw last week, Zero Planes got a huge lead in that final section in the Endless Expert. So that brought him up all the way to 2nd place, if I recall correctly. So who knows?
I mentioned earlier, he's been practicing that. It's actually one of the things he does on his streams, and he did it even before participating in the SG Live or Speed Gaming Weeklies. He would just do timed expert challenges, finish as many levels as he could. So it's right up his alley.
That's going to be really interesting because Chaos Legion also does a lot of Endless Expert. And if I recall correctly, checking their current clear rate, they're like over 400 levels cleared so far in Endless Expert, which is a lot, honestly. I can get more than 40 clears. I'm like, I don't like Endless. I'll never play this ever again. And that's what I've done. That's why you haven't seen me back in these races. I just can't deal with that.
Oh, well, you know, it's a game at the end of the day. You gotta have fun with it.
Yeah, and I don't have fun with Endless.
I have more fun going through looking for puzzle levels.
Yeah, puzzle levels are amazing.
I'm still waiting to see a puzzle level and a music level in this weekly. We need somebody to submit a good one for each of those.
I am working on the music levels. It's just making levels for me. It's like a very chaotic and stressful process. I go through, like, how artists say they go through a lot of phases and they hate their work and at one point and they feel like it's useless. That's me constantly, all the time. Every 5 minutes of making, I'm like, I hate this level. I need to start over. And I do that. And it never ends up being a pleasant experience. I love making levels, but it's so stressful for me. So Dobbs with another clear. Let's see what we got. That's a
Put up a
52.
52-1. And Germdub's going to be right there with another clear.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time left. That's a 53-9.
This is going to be a lot less forgiving to get a complete run in as they're entering the final minute here.
Dobbs definitely got a good strat going on in that first sub-world section. Let's see if they can actually capitalize on that. Second sub-world section is looking pretty hot.
I really like how
they had to
it was
slow
going
down.
until there. I think he may have been trying for the triple jump strats and it just got off a little bit. Really smooth movement through there.
Well, they have one more chance, so who knows?
Yeah, with 30 seconds left, it'd be really hard to get 2 runs of any kind in.
That's a 50-second clear for Dobbs, the previous one, so that was really good as well.
Looks like he might be stopping there.
All right. Us with one last run, and that looks like a ridiculously amazing good time. That's a world record in the last.
That's a pretty good way to end
it. Wait to clutch that cause. Holy moly.
Just getting the times put in here. I am missing one right now. There we go.
Yeah. You got it? Cool.
There it is. So for level 3, the fastest was by Chaos Legion, second was by Dobbs, third by Hourglass, Zero Planes 4th, and Germdub 5th. For part 2 overall, best was Chaos Legion, Zero Plane, Dobbs 2nd, Hourglass 3rd, Germdub 4th, and Zero Planes 5th. Which means going into the final for Endless, it's Chaos Legion in first, Hourglass in second, Dobbs in third.
It's gonna be an interesting one here. Let's see how Endless goes. At the end of the day, Endless, it's all about RNG, getting good levels, knowing which levels to take on. It's a lot of work being done here. So We'll see. We'll see how things go. Definitely Chaos Legion with a huge advantage right now because they got first place in the first section and first place in the second section. So they are definitely ahead of the competition. But anything can happen. And Endless has proven over and over that no race is lost until that final count of levels that have been cleared.
So as we stand, these are our top 4 on stream already. With Zero Planes also running, he'll be off stream to start with, but I reserve the right to switch him out if he's having a good run. Hey chat, don't forget to make sure you've gotten your votes in for your favorite level today. That doesn't have to be one of the levels we ran in part 2. It's just any of the ones from part 1 that you liked. Vote for your favorite. Which one would you say was your favorite so far?
Oh, good question. Let me see. I did like Luna's level. I thought it was really interesting, especially with that optimization route where we got a was it that one where we got a tied best time?
We were tied on the first level for part 2.
Yeah, I think that was extremely exciting watching those runs coming all together at the last moment. It was just something else. Other than that, I think Bob McName's level was also really interesting to see, especially because again, it was just like a Pac-Man maze, repeating itself over and over, but with different challenges.
Chad,
How
feel
about
free to
yourself?
tell us what you're liking so far. We've actually got a tie for first so far between Exclusion Zone and There Can't Be More Levels. So this is going to be Endless Expert. Now, they do not have to start from a new file like Owlglass is. So there's a little bit of an advantage to having lives in the bank versus actually Germdove would be better off starting a new one and getting that extra Mario just to reduce the risk of a game over. You're allowed to start a new one, but it's just time consuming to start the new run.
Yeah, and they're just currently on their third level clear. It's not a big streak, so they shouldn't. Unlike Dobbs and Koas here, who are on 1009 clears and 504 clears respectively.
Yeah, so we wouldn't want to make somebody give up a perfectly good streak. That's on them if they decide to start new runs for this or not.
A lot of the runners, what they do is usually just get a different an alt
Profile.
account. Yeah, an alt account.
So we have got them off and going here. 20 minutes to clear as many levels as you can. So they're going to be on different levels for this section. Quick things you're looking for, you'll often see them pause to look at world records. There's other things that may make you say, oh, this is a level I want to try versus one I don't. If you see a troll, you're probably pretty quick to skip it because you don't know how many trolls are after that one.
This level Dobbs is currently on right now. I am so scared of whatever's happening here.
Okay, well, he saw the
goal.
goal.
Oh my god, all the springs.
So it's just the spring section to get past, but he sees the goal is probably why he's doing it, but I think he got soft locked. I think he got pushed through the donut.
Ah, heck. That's really unfortunate.
Owlglass, that one just took a shell jump.
Clear.
Oh, we've got a train level going here for Chaos.
You gotta keep that train alive.
You gotta defend your train. Okay. He was able to get that on-off switch. That was something we couldn't see immediately if you had to get it. Not quite.
He thought, maybe I'll skip it, maybe no. Oh.
Ooh, Owlglass accidentally quit out. He's got to go back in.
Oh no, that's a lot of time getting the game to boot up again. That's where we're talking about like a minute and something loss right there.
Very significant loss.
And that's a shame because they had a clear.
So I generally think that the biggest thing you have to watch for when you're trying a level multiple times like Germ Dove is if you find you've spent 2 minutes on a level, no matter how you feel about it, you should probably move on because you've already invested too much time.
Yes. The thing is, sometimes you go way into deep in a level, and it's so difficult to quit. It's
Yeah,
just so difficult to give the the level the pleasure of you quitting.
but it's all about how many you complete.
That's true. Koa's doing a big damage boost right there. They're definitely not playing the level in the intended way, and unfortunately.
Hey, we don't care about intended ways, we care about fast ways. You see the bridge. Dobbs going through it. He's set up well. And he's got it clear. So we've got everybody with a clear so far.
Yes. Causes back into its poison-filled level. Still damage whizzing through the spikes as well. Now the blue coaster that no one likes.
Low gravity level here for Owlglass. If they're kind of in a traditional setup, that actually makes the enemies a lot more forgiving. But also you have to remember that you're in expert, so there's going to be a challenge to it of some form.
And the worst part about low gravity is that going into the air is just going to make you super slow, which is what's happening to Koas right now. They're in a low gravity section, and on a clown cart, nope. That's a skip for me.
Dobbs with another clear. I think Owlglass was in the wrong section and he had to restart over to get into expert again.
Oh, that's why? Huh.
And Germ Dove's got a clear. That's a challenging jump there for Owlglass. It looks like it really tests you on slow fall.
Yeah, that's what people call a regrab. It's not an easy thing to get right.
I've gotten pretty okay at my slow fall for Nusu, but it traps a lot of people who don't use the normal Switch controls if they use some kind of alternate controllers. If you don't have all 4 shoulder buttons, it really impairs your ability to do slow fall in Nusu.
That's so true. Al was in the meantime going through a speedrun level on ice at night. Isn't that wonderful?
So the nice thing about a speedrun in expert is you probably tell right away that the timer isn't going to be super 1 frame tight kind of thing. So you know there's going to be a little bit more leeway, but you also know there's a reason this level's not normal.
Exactly. So you gotta be careful when spending time in those speedrun levels, because yes, it's only 30 seconds, but if you try it 3 and 4 times, that's a huge time loss.
We've got Dobbs and Germ Dove each with 2 clears right now. Looks like Al's going a different path through this level this time.
Yep, it's a little bit confusing. I really don't know which way is the right way anymore.
I don't think it is a question of right way. I think this is a multi-path speedrun. But he's doing it well. And there's the goal.
There you go. Got the clear. And a couple of extra lives to boot. That's good.
Yeah, despite the early trip up, that's the 2nd clear for Al, which is tied for the lead right now. Got a blind fall.
Eesh, That's never fun. Woo! Some tight jumping there from Koas. And still no sign of that. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there's the
There
Keydor.
you go.
Germdove has got a Bowser fight. Looks like he's trying to get the clown car. Is that a requirement of the level?
It is a requirement.
Okay, so he sails over Bowser, gets the clear, as Dobbs logs up another one, so does Chaos Legion. And that puts Dobbs and Germdove at 3. First clear, nice. Pick a path for Chaos Legion. He says no thank you.
Oh, I was about to see. Dobbs has to jump on this flying piece switches. Nope.
Yeah, that looks like
Nope.
you have to be damageless through that level. That's not usually a good sign in Expert. And a hidden key, I would be out of this level already.
Yes. This is just a bad idea. Oh, well, that's
He
something.
can see the goal, but can he get to the goal?
Oh, twisters and oh, this is so bad. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Nope, that's
No,
blocked.
that was a troll. Please skip this level, dude. Yeah, skip it. Don't waste your time on this one. And look at that, Koas with another clear.
I think we may have had that lock up for on Owl's side. So in light of that, I'm going to switch it over to 0.
Seems fair. Unfortunately. Oh, Germdove getting blasted in the face by a bomb.
We have Owlglass,
They
Germdove,
were-
and Dobbs at 3, Chaos at 2. We've not seen 0 mention a second clear yet. And a game over for Germdove is... That's something we talked about right at the start, is it costs you time to start this new run.
Yes. Cause in the meantime is doing some shell tags here. Getting those running shell
Poison
jumps.
mushrooms everywhere for 0 planes. Blind yellow jump doesn't work, so he's probably going to be moving on to another level.
Oh, why would anyone do this? What's going on Kaya's screen is you have to get a shell jump out of a twister. That's not fun.
Well, he's trying it. So because this is sort of a training level, if you will, it's got the ability to retry, and that appears to have his interest, at least until then. Now he's moving on. And that's another clear for 0 planes.
Yes, that's really good.
Owlglass and Dobbs at 4. I jumped the gun a little bit. That was Dobbs' 4th. Again, we took Owl off because it looked like his stream froze. But he is still playing. Got a boss rush for Germdove. Those can be quick or they can be slow depending on how many bosses there are and which bosses they are.
Yeah, and depending if it's 3D whirl or not. Because those Meowser fights, no.
Oh. Instant skip if you see a Meowser fight. Another clear for Chaos.
Dobbs, meanwhile, is on a really slow auto-scroller. With a lot of enemies. That's a no-no. It's
See
0
some wall
meantime
jumping
train.
challenges for
Yeah.
0 planes. So the Lakitu Cloud will help for a little bit, but because of the slow pace of this level, you're not going to be able to carry it for too long. And that'll be another clear for 0 planes. trouble I have with the level Germdove is playing is, okay, everything's been fine so far, but what's waiting at the end? Well, that was the end, so it proves to be a good one to invest in.
Yeah, turns out it was actually a good idea to, go through the level.
Zero Planes with 3 clears, Chaos Legion with 4, Germdove now with 4. Got a Super Mario Brothers 3 level for Germdove. Jumping through a lot of sharp objects, just don't get hit by any of them. And that's a quick clear. Very well done. That's exactly the kind of level you're looking for in this. Zero Planes has another Super Mario Brothers 3 level. They're very common today.
Yeah, for some reason, SMB3 has become popular again. It was not the case in Mario Maker 1. It's really interesting seeing this, getting there again, because it's a beautiful theme. There's a lot of people never cared too much about it.
I think in Mario Maker 1, it maybe didn't get all the love because it was the least like the original game. As Zero Planes has another clear. You don't have all the power-ups of SMB3, which was part of the unique charm of the game, Where's our frog suit, Nintendo?
Where's the Hammer Brothers suit? Which is obviously not the same as the Hammer suit that is present in 3D World.
Very different. Oh, that's Builder's suit anyways. Alright, so looks like we gotta run the bully off the cliff for Germdove. He does. And a red coin collection here. Oh, that's all over the place. Okay, he's got it. Solid ground down there, you just couldn't see it to start with. And Death by Spikes. We've got Owlglass at 5 clears, Dobbs at 5, Zero Planes at 4. Just over 5 minutes left to play.
I am trying to figure out what's going on Koa's screen with all those sound effects. I was so confused for a moment.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of when the screen goes grayscale. I like being able to see my level more than anything.
Yeah. Fighting Bowser in low gravity. Well,
and
not
it
low
looks like
gravity.
You need Bowser to clear out the pipes so that you can get the power up to kill him with.
This is a bad choice. Yeah, please. Thank you very much.
He's gonna move
Skipping
on.
was the right. Yeah. You gotta skip that one.
I can kind of understand trying it that far because you would assume that all 3 of those pipes were going to dish out fire flowers for you to fight Bowser with. Having one of them spit out coins, though, you just got trolled. As Dobbs puts up another clear. And so does Germdove.
Yes.
They're both at 6 now.
Wow. They've been doing pretty well tonight.
Zero Owlglass just got to 6. Apparently our runners have been getting some practice in for this.
Well, we just saw Dobbs' clear rate on this. It's at around 1,000 clears so far. They know what they're doing. Look at Germdove.
That is a thing of beauty. That is something that you can do in low gravity New Soup. You can virtually stay static if your slow fall is good enough.
That's also a thing. Yeah.
We've got a poison mushroom in the Lakitu cloud. That's like the worst chasing mechanics you can get. We combine them into one to create a monster. So Dobbs needs coins that he didn't find as he ran through the level, so he's gonna move on.
Oh no, that's so unfortunate.
And again, you'll almost always see the runners pause, and they're checking the world record on these levels. Because if you see a 4-minute world record, you're going to know I probably need to pick something else. If you see a 20-second world record, you're going to be willing to invest a few more lives in it.
Yeah, definitely. In the meantime, we're seeing Dobbs doing one of these levels where the sun is actually your best friend because it opens up the path to the next
Well, it may
section.
open up the path, but it still damages you.
At the end of the day, it's still the sun, you know. It may not look very angry in NSMB, but still an angry sun.
Zero Planes has to collect these 10 coins. Now he's got them all. And he's got the goal. So that's a very quick level for Zero Planes.
And Dobbs.
And another quick one for Dobbs.
Yep.
So this is real tight between these runners. Germ Dove, Owlglass, Dobbs, almost 7 clears. Zero Planes has 5.
As well as Koa's Legion, also 5 clear so far.
I missed one line there, okay. When you're looking at these on the fly, it's not always easy to... But hey, if you see this and you think, hey, this looks fun, I could do it, feel free to join us next week. If you're a level maker and you'd like to see your level shown off in front of the crowd, we're always looking for level submissions. You can check speedgaming.org/weekly for more information. You can join the Discord. And we will be happy to have you as part of the fun.
So Dobbs over there was trying to cheese that level because most of the objects are solid above the screen edge, but it turns out that red and blue blocks, they are not solid on top of the screen, so you can actually go over them, especially if you're flying like Dobbs is.
Little lag for Germ Dove, but he got the clear, surviving the rising lava. We've got Germ Dove and Owlglass at 8 right now, and when time is up, time is up.
Yeah, unlike the previous section, times we don't let an extra clear after the time hits that the 20:00 mark.
Alright, so let me start getting these in here.
Ooh, Zero playing just at the right last second. Wow, same as Koa's Legion. And that's it.
Yeah, we're getting the scores in now. And we'll get invites to the runners. If it says any kind of order up there, that's not official yet. Chaos Legion, I need... he had 6. Alright. Oh my. Did we really? We might have to do a recount to be sure of this. Don't forget to vote on your favorite levels.
Well, this is an interesting development again.
So I'm gonna double check my entries on these part 2 scores real quick.
Seems like a fair thing to do.
Why don't you promote people voting on their favorite level again? That's 8. Dobbs with 7. Germdov with 8. Zero Planes with 6. Chaos Legion with 6. So, yeah, it looks like everything washes up and that result is right. So why don't you go ahead and go through it, Notch?
So yeah, apparently Chaos Legion and was it Germdov? No, Allglass tied up in first place. Allglass efforts in Endless have definitely paid. Those 8 clears saved them and got them that first place. Amazing. Following them really close on third place, it's Germdov. Dobbs finishing up in 4th and Zero Planes 5th. That is.
Yeah, we
You see,
any of the runners join us,
practicing Endless works. Unfortunately, I will never do that.
Gotta double check with the runners that they did in fact get their invites.
Sure, so we're doing the interviews in a bit.
Alright, they're saying they didn't, so let me get this done. And that'll be something else we check on later. Oh, who do we have joining us first? Because I'm on another screen.
Hello there.
That's Chaos Legion. GG.
Yep. Thank you.
Mike's a little low. Can you move it closer or anything?
Yep. How about
Okay,
that?
there we go. We also have Allglass in here, which is very fitting since apparently y'all managed to tie for the win. So how you feeling about that?
That Endless just treated me so bad. It was ugh. I was not happy.
Yeah, we saw you struggle with a couple of levels that we were, at least on I was yelling inside my head. I was like, Host, please move on. That's not a good level. It was terrible.
Yeah,
honestly.
at some point I was trying to skip like a low gravity new SMBU level and my controller was just not skipping. I'm like, does the button just stop breaking? So I tried to continue while trying to skip the level and it finally worked. I was like, oh my gosh. I was 6 minutes in without a single clear. I was like, nope, just not my time.
That was very unfortunate.
By the way, everyone, don't forget to get your vote in for your favorite level. We'll announce the winners before we wrap this up, but you still have a chance to get your submissions in. Why don't we start with Allglass? What would you say your favorite of the day was?
I really like the mini Kaizo level. It was like precision jumps that add some good stuff in it. It was like just the right hardness.
Oh, that would be Exclusion Zone, if I recall correctly. The one with all the jumps going forward, right?
I think it was the third level that we did. Yeah.
Yes, Exclusion
Yeah.
Zone. That would be it.
That was perfect. That was like brilliant. The other level with the new Super Mario Bros. Twirl Up by what's her name again, or his name?
Creeper Creek Circuit was the level.
That was horrible. Oh my god, that was I didn't like that one.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of speedrun levels in general.
So let me ask you a little bit about the part 2 section, because I thought this was interesting. The slowest level was definitely the third one, but it felt like that's the one where we actually ended up seeing the most clears. Are you just quicker to restart when you know it's a fast level?
Yeah, that's pretty much generally how it goes. I seriously thought that Exclusion Zone was going to be like one of the
I thought so as well. And depending on
Koopa-
what kind of level, yeah,
Yeah,
you
the
do
Koopa
start quicker.
Koopa Troopa Canyon was just ugh. For as simple as it was, I just could not get the thing that I wanted to work out. But like you said, knowing that it's an easy level or short for that matter, easier resets is better than to just continue on and watch what your time would be at the end, I guess.
Fair, fair. What do you guys think about the first speedrun level and actually the one that who tied it up? Was it you, Owlglass, and someone else
Me and
on the
Legion, I
best
think
time?
we tied. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, Hourglass and
What,
Legion
what,
tied
what were
on
your
the-
thoughts on that one?
What was the first speedrun level, by the way?
Passive Luna, Perennial Llama, the one with
Oh, okay,
the
okay.
with the
Yeah.
SMB3 swamp at night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was actually pretty fun. Like just trying to, I found there was a second exit, trying to figure out where, like what would be fastest or what exactly it is I need to do to go fast. But obviously, it just turned out that the door was faster and mainly just precision. Because sometimes I look at the time that the world record has versus the clear that the creator did, and it's like, okay, what did they do in order to go fast? And then obviously playing the level, you find out what would equal to go fast. Like the coins were just pointless.
That's true. And the biggest issue I had was that at the start I got a really good time, and then to optimize it was really hell because there was such tight precision jumps that you could make and optimize. We got quite close to, I think, the most optimal time on that level.
Well, we're
Yeah, I think.
uh,
I
getting
mean,
close to
the
closing
fact.
the voting on people's favorite levels. Kind of want to broaden the scope here and ask if somebody's sitting on the sidelines and thinks this would be fun, I'd like to try it. What's one thing you would tell them? Start with Legion.
Just go for it. I mean, I've been shouting the races out every single week on my channel, and regardless of what you think your skill level would be, it's just a matter of trying it out, see what works for you, see what doesn't, and practice it out obviously during the week to try and improve. But I mean, to me, it's just go for it, see what happens.
Yeah, if I would say something, it's like don't be alarmed by the first 5 levels or the optimizing because most points is actually an endless and that can make or break. And as we like saw today, like Chaos Legion had a little bad run, I had a better run, and it's all about. I think most of the points are in the expert. So if you can do expert and practice that, then you will be perfect to compete and actually have a really good chance to win even.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just the fact that, at least in my personal opinion, I don't like endless, but if you can actually work it out, like you did today, and Zero Planes did last week, definitely that's the best opportunity to climb back up the ladder.
All right, well, with that, we can say that it was, in fact, Exclusion Zone that was the people's choice today, and Passive Luna was the second favorite of the day.
Good choices.
So,
Congrats
any
to the
final
winners.
thoughts, Hourglass?
Hopefully I can be here next week again. And honestly, I was so hyped up to finally beat Chaos Legion, and now I tied. So next week I just have to go a little bit further and actually beat him because he's a wall in the end of my my play style, I guess.
Legion, any final thoughts?
Nope. Just I hope the events, the weeklies continue growing. Hopefully the levels keep getting better because again, they definitely have been getting better. And whenever I do these races, I get super nervous. So I just try my best, and my best just so happens to be, top 2 at least. So yeah, it's just a matter of practice, figuring out what works, and get better.
Well, Notch, it's been fun. How was it on this side of things?
It was a pleasure being part of the comms. Definitely not a thing that I've done a lot before, so it's still a little bit rusty. I'll hopefully get better as well, just like the runners here.
All right, well, I will say thank you to each of our participants today. We had Chaos Legion, Germdove, Hourglass, Zero Planes, Doms, and Bruzzy all participating in the action this afternoon. We appreciate it. All of our fine level makers who contributed, even those we weren't able to feature, but many great submissions came in. Our fine level testing team that involves Notch and others who do a great job making sure we have these levels. And then also thank each and every one of you who joined us for this part of your afternoon. Certainly hope you had fun watching things, and we hope to see you again next week. I'm Trenton, wishing y'all a great rest of the day.